there's no legal system I'm aware of where there's an inherent contradiction between certain basic employment law protections and flexibility. Indeed, I think you can make the very good argument that actually good HR practices, good employment law baseline protection, enhance flexibility and enhance workers' choice when it comes to when and how to work. Quite counterintuitively, I was quite surprised when I first stumbled across this, that actually the empirical evidence points to the opposite. It's actually a baseline standard of employment law protection that encourages and fosters innovation. Think about it, it makes sense. If you've got a problem in your business, in your workplace, and labour costs you nothing, then you just chuck more work at it, right? You don't need to be more productive. You don't need to be innovative. If, on the other hand, there's a certain baseline cost to work, you'll innovate and invest in new technologies. There's a really fascinating late 19th century Royal Commission of Inquiry into what was then called sweated labour in the House of Lords in the United Kingdom. And the people who are complaining most bitterly about the gig economy, the sort of home working, outputting system then, were not the workers. It was actually the owners of the big factories in Yorkshire, in the north of England, who had invested in new technology, the new spinning looms, right? Sort of state-of-the-art, fancy technology at that point. And they were saying, well, actually, as long as these other guys keep using children and women working at home, undercutting my innovation, I'm not actually going to be able to earn a return on my investment. And so actually it turns out once certain baseline standards like banning child labour were introduced, that innovation got rewarded financially and actually was spurred quite significantly. And a lot of empirical work, particularly in the United States today, shows that the similar sort of trends are again repeating themselves. Jurisdictions with good baseline standards of employment protection, such as California, tend to be the most innovative jurisdictions we in fact see. And well, again, the opposite is true, right? Think of basic employment standards like, for example, working time protection. Well, if you've got an entrepreneur who's in her car, who's been driving for 14, 15 hours a day, but she doesn't get paid minimum wage, doesn't have rest break entitlements, well, the person who's going to suffer most of that potentially in the immediate vicinity is the actual consumer. So I think it's also really important that we tell this broader story that baseline employment law protections actually are not just about protecting workers, they're also about looking after consumers of the services that are on offer.